Okay, well, the first thing you notice about our pontoon here is that we've got two bridges. The one on the right hand side will eventually have a car in it into which wheelchairs can be set so that they can go down to the main bridge and then out onto the pontoon. And then next door you've got the ordinary walkway bridge. The reason we've had to put the two bridges in is that when the level of water here drops so much that the angle of the pontoon gets beyond 12 degrees, then wheelchairs are technically not supposed to use the ordinary walking bridge. So we now need the mechanical bridge, the electric bridge, to get them down safely onto the lower section. Okay, so right now we're standing on the intermediate platform, and then we have the secondary bridge, which you can see here going out onto the main pontoon itself. When the water level drops beyond a 12 degrees angle there, this intermediate platform touches down on the ground because it's got extended legs, and then this bridge here will start to take up the rest of the drop out onto the pontoon itself. So there are in fact two levels of bridges going out onto our pontoon to make sure that wheelchairs can always access this pontoon without having to go down excessive slopes. Now the major pontoon itself, which we're now standing on, is double width, and it's been created double width on purpose. And you can see the barriers that go down the central part of the pontoon. This pontoon was built so wide because you can have wheelchairs on the pontoon without obstructing other access. On a single finger you would probably have problems getting past wheelchairs and other bits and pieces on the pontoon, so we've made double the width. Secondly, the barriers down the middle have been put in place to protect people, so that if you have a wayward boom and a boat coming through the pontoon, along there with the boom out over the pontoon, wheelchairs and wheelchair people can be on the inside of the barriers, so the barriers act as protection. Okay, now the main pontoon is built to 150mm freeboard, which allows the majority of disabled sailing boats tend to be fairly low in the freeboard, particularly things like the 2.4 and the Challengers and the Access, and therefore transferring from pontoon to boat is a very simple operation because you're not stepping down into the water. To assist that further, we've actually built two lower freeboard pontoons, the little fingers that you can see stretching out here. These are even lower freeboard, which makes access much more level, and so it's very, very easy to get people in and out of boats if need be. But the other key feature to this pontoon is that in between those two floating decks, those pontoons, there's a sunken deck, which is approximately 500mm, 600mm deep in the middle there, and it allows helpers like myself to be able to stand in the water, have a boat come in between the docks there. We can stand in the water on the outer side of the boat and help to realign somebody if they're more severely disabled, getting them into their boat. We can then get on the outside of them and move them around, and then we can walk around and let the boat go out. So that's a sort of shallow area in between those two fingers. You do have to be a bit careful not to walk off the edge, because if you do, you'll disappear and you'll get rather wet. Here you'll see we've got a hoist for helping to get disabled people out of wheelchairs and across and into boats. And on this particular pontoon, we've designed into the pontoon itself a large number of sockets that are all along the edge here, all around the pontoon. That actually means that instead of having to queue up and wait to come to the hoist with people in their boats, when you've got one person out and into the wheelchair on the pontoon, you can lift, the boat can stay there, you can lift the hoist itself out and take that further up the pontoon and operate with other people. So you don't have to have huge numbers of hoists. You can use 2 or 3 hoists, and you can lift as many people as you need in and out all the way down the pontoon. Well, our pontoon width, as I said earlier, was designed specially to accommodate wheelchairs, and as you can see here, wheelchairs can be easily left on this pontoon and they don't form an obstruction to other people, so it's a much safer platform to operate from. Okay, this feature on the end of our pontoon has been designed specially to have our own little slipway actually on the pontoon itself, and you can bring boats right into the end here, slide them up and bring them up onto the pontoon should you need to. We have a special boat that has a drop down front, a little landing craft type sailing boat, and this one can be drawn right in here, and our wheelchair people who need all the support help, because sometimes we do actually take people out sailing and we let them have a go on the tiller and pulling on the ropes, but they need a lot more support than many others. So that particular boat can come in here, we can dock it in, we can run the wheelchairs straight into the boat, and then that can be taken off and they can go sailing. Having got this splendid piece of equipment put together here on the water, our one issue is our sort of duck and geese problem, which we're beginning to work on, and I think it's a common problem that is had by a number of organisations that have this particular type of facility. The wildlife like it, but unfortunately we have to do an awful lot of clearing up.